Good evening, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your closing bell for Wednesday, May 4th, 2022. What a busy day here in the office and studios. This morning, we kick it off with Bernie Frado for 1.5 hour talking Trevor Bauer. A lot of behind the scenes stuff that was actually happening. Sounded like a lot of stuff that the public does not know about, whether it's in 2017, 2013. And Bernie kind of shed the light with us. And we were blessed and honored to have him on in a busy week as he travels back east to Detroit. Um, for a wedding on Saturday. But he blessed us with his presence. And then at 1 o'clock, of course, our weekly uh, spot across, as I like to say, as we skip across the border with Andrew McGinnis of Wager Talk and McGinnis Picks, talking NHL pucks, playoffs, props, and a lot more. So that was a great time. Some day baseball today. This Arizona Diamondbacks team, which I've been talking a lot lately to Scott, I got burnt a few times early. I'm staying away. And today they rally the troops to beat Miami 8-7. Greg Peterson of VSiN posted a tweet not too long ago. The D-backs 7-2 their last 9 games, all at plus 145 or better. Really like the Brave spot today with Anderson against McGill. McGill burnt us good last start. Mets have been playing great, don't get me wrong, but the Braves and the prevail 9-2 there. Great spot for Verlander. Brash has not been pitching well. The Astros win 7-2. Scotty's Rays holding on here 3-0 with Kluber versus Montas in the top of the ninth there. Pittsburgh, Detroit, 3-2 in game 1. Now 2-2 in game 2. And the Padres 5-4 against the Guardians there. And St. Louis, again, a good spot for Wainwright and them to bounce back after getting shut out last night. A nice 10-0 win with a touchdown and a field goal there. Without further ado, though, we got a lot on the night slate. We got some NBA playoffs. We got some more MLB. We have some NHL playoffs. The ECSI VIPs already engaged in one game today. Padres currently up 3-0 against the Guardians in game 2. You have the second game, a small little first 5 dog, which some real sharp players come in on. And then the NHL doubled down, which we never doubled down, but I'll talk about that later. So let's bring him in. Scott T. Webb. Afternoon, Scott.
Jeff, it is what do they call today? Hump Day. It's that camel thing commercial or whatever it is. That thing cracked me up, man. That thing was funny. That stuff was just funny. But yeah, it is what it is.
It's a great time to be alive. Obviously, every day is a great day to be alive. I think Bernie started the show by saying, woke up this morning, my feet hit the ground, so I went and grabbed some breakfast. But busy week. I've been talking about that all week. NBA and NHL playoffs. Our daily grind of the MLB. On Saturday, we run for the roses at Churchill Downs. There will be one horse that wins, 19 that don't. But for the next 2 weeks, we'll hear how this horse is going to be the next Triple Crown winner and the next Secretariat. But prior to that, Scotty, how you doing? How you feeling? What did you see last night? And what are you seeing today?
Well, I'm seeing Major League Baseball batting average is 232. It's up from 231, but back down from 233. But there's scoring going on in some of these games. And I thought our Discord channel brought up a pretty good question. The question was in relation to home and away, and I thought that topic was probably a good discussion point, only because this happens a lot in football or other sports where teams have this big advantage because they play at home. And in Major League Baseball, they play at home 82 times, 81 times, whatever it is. And some guys feel more comfortable at home than others, obviously, and so forth. So there's a little bit to do with that. But everybody in the world knows that. And because a pitcher pitches well at home, you're going to pay the price for that. You're going to pay the price for that because it's going to be baked into the line because the sports book knows that. What I have found is if you want to play a trend similar to that, look at day and night. Because what a lot of people probably don't know about baseball is a pitcher's motion, his wind up, his release points, his delivery, all that stuff, sometimes is easier to see one way or the other. The ball comes out of his hand in a certain way, so you can see the ball better as a batter during the day, or you can see the ball better as a batter at night. And you can see it in the numbers. So, and I'm not talking necessarily you got to go look at the earned run average or whatever. I'm talking look more at things like the how many batters he's faced, how many hits he gave up in the daytime, and versus how many he's given up in the nighttime. It's a little too early to be looking at these kind of numbers for the season this year because they made 4 or 5 starts each. So there's probably a couple of day games and there's probably a couple of night games in there. So you can't really go 2 and 2 here. And the other problem with this is it's not necessarily something that happens every season over and over and over. So a pitcher can do different things to adjust to some of that stuff. So a perfect example today, and I know everybody's going to yell at me today. So we're gonna give them something to yell at me about. So if you look at Nasty Nestor, right? Yankees are pitching Nasty Nestor today, and I'm going to just use one term today. It's called SOPS plus. This is a statistic that takes your OPS number and rounds it into a data point based on 100. So if you are above 100, so say you're, 120 in this number, that means you're 20% worse than average. And if you are 80, you're 20% better than average. So you want to be a below number in this one. So if you look at day games for Nestor Cortes, he has faced 40 plate appearances. So 40 guys have batted in 2 games. He's had 37 at-bats and 4 hits in day games. That's pretty good. You got 37 guys go up there and only get 4 hits. I'm surprised they scored any runs, but they got 2 runs. I don't know how they got 2 runs out of them 4 hits, but I say that all the time. It takes 2 hits to score 1 run. And he has 20 strikeouts. That's pretty damn good. And his SOPS number is 8. I mean, that's just like, holy crap. That's a phenomenal number. And that means he's 92% better than average. Okay, well, it's 2 games. So how do you really trust on that? But if you flip it over and look at him in night games, he's had 38 at-bats, 11 hits, and an SOPS plus number of 109. So at night, he's 9% worse than average. And was he playing tonight? He's at night tonight. So I know everybody wants to bet against Kikuchi. That's what everybody wants to do. They want to go out there and go, this guy's going to get rocked and he's going to get beat up. And the Yankees are 35-0 and they got 17 million home runs, and that could happen. But don't be surprised if the Blue Jays go out there tonight and get a few hits that they against Cortes, because something about playing at night, something about playing at day, there is a differentiation there that does matter. And I think that's just a better way to look at some of these splits than to just go and say home and away. Football game's different. Some teams, you got to give them more of a home field edge than others. Sometimes they feel better at playing at home. College basketball teams probably the same way. But I don't think that formula
Mm.
applies. I mean, the line already is baked in a home field advantage for the baseball team, and then a pitcher who is known to be a good home pitcher will get a little extra juice from the book. So I don't think you're going to catch an edge by knowing that he's a good home pitcher or not.
Well, I mean, just looking at that game, I mean, let's be realistic here. I know the Yankees are a freight train right now. We talk about getting in front of winning streaks like that, or on the vice versa, the losing streaks. I'm not going to bring up my saying for the 1 billionth time, but the fact of the matter is, when the hell are you going to have the Blue Jays at home plus 135? I mean, I know back in the day, when a real good pitcher is coming in against your team, I get it, but this is not Garrett Cole. Okay.
Right.
So you try to tell me if Cole was pitching against Kikuchi, who was sucked pond water. Okay. And I know they've won 11 in a row. I get all that. So what would Cole be today? Minus 180?
At least. I mean, here's a good point for you. Nestor Cortez right now, and if I go pull him up, he is sitting at a number of, I got to pull it up and get it for you. Pitchers, starters, Yankees, blam. He is sitting at 2.5 projected WAR. Okay, that's baseball pitcher WAR, RA9 WAR. Garrett Cole 5.3. So Garrett Cole is twice the pitcher that Nestor Cortez is. So it might be 185, 190 for Garrett Cole because of how differentiated Garrett Cole is over Cortez. Cortez has the same number, by the way, as Jameson Taillon.
And that's my point. Is the fact of the matter is, if we go back 2 days ago, this was the who's going to take supremacy of first place, who's going to flex their muscles, and we know the Jays what they're expected to be this year. Their bats have been cold. You talked about it yesterday. Where's Vlad been? Bo Bichette has been boo awful, and the list is endless. And so you got the Jays, I think, short favorites game one. Yesterday, basically a pick 'em, a little juice here and there. And now all of a sudden I look up and Cortez, Nestor, whatever the hell his name is minus 145, pushing 150. That is the most overinflated number of the day, guys. Now, I'm not saying the Yankees aren't going to win. Don't take me to that. I'm just saying you are paying a premium tax to take the Yankees today.
Well, this is going to happen, and this is what happens in baseball. So if you want to play these teams that get 11 straight wins, you're going to pay that tax. If you want to bet the Dodgers every day, you're going to be paying a tax on the Dodgers. So it's just interesting. I thought it was for those of you who aren't in our Discord channel, you should get in because ultimately these kinds of things come up and there's a lot of good conversation around stuff. And I thought that was a great point. And I thought it was a good point to talk about some of the other stuff that goes around what to look for. And that creates these kinds of conversations. And whether you've been doing this for 50 million years or you just started doing it yesterday, I think that you can learn a lot.
NBA tonight, Philly, Miami. It says Miami opened at 9. I didn't see a 9 anywhere, but I'm just taking Wages Talk's word for it. 7.5 across the board. I did flash before we started the show. Tyler Hero is playing today, so he was upgraded to probable. He is playing. 7.5 at Circa and Westgate. 8 at South Point, DraftKings, Caesars, Dallas, Phoenix. Phoenix opened at 6.5 now at Circa. Jeffrey Benson, who will be on tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. West Coast time, talking all about Circa, how he got there, what's going on, and what the other books are doing that they're not doing. So make sure you guys tune us in for that. There, full slate of bases still left. A couple of NHL hockey games that I'll get into later. Scotty, the desk and the board is yours.
All right, so I'm just gonna just skip this Texas and Philadelphia game because I'm not gonna be on it. I don't really have a lot of interest in it. I mean, if you're gonna play this game, everybody's gonna bet the Phillies. They're gonna bet Wheeler. And I can't say that you're wrong necessarily for doing that, but Wheeler hasn't been Wheeler's game score for the season's 48. That's below average, and that concludes a 72 that he just came off of last week. So, or last game out. So I'm not going to go there. Perez has got 2 back-to-back great starts, so he's going to fall apart real soon. So is that tonight? Is that I don't know. I was surprised to see Nick Castellanos in the lineup. He is his wife's having a baby, so he's supposed to be, he could miss this game or be taken out in the second inning, and that's just an FYI there. I'm just going to pass on that one. But I do like the next one. I like Minnesota today. I like the idea that those guys are I think they've won 10 out of their last 11 games. And you got Bundy today, and Bundy's off a bad start the last time out. But you got to remember that before Bundy was an Angel, he was a highly touted prospect, big-time pitcher, number 1 starter for the Baltimore Orioles. So this is a spot for him to get a little bit of payback. He has pitched against Baltimore before. He had a good start against them the time that he pitched against them before. So I kind of like the idea that he's going to pitch against them good again today. I paid minus 135. I'm playing the full game. I'm not gonna do the minus half a run here. I think Minnesota a lot of times is a slow starter team. They go through the lineup once and then they get the middle of the innings, and the back end is where they make their hay. So I'm going to stay away from the first 5. I'll just pay the minus 135. My number was a bit higher than that. I think it was like 160 or something. Let me look. It was Bundy. My number was minus 169. So I think we're getting pretty good value here. So I'm going to play the Twins, and I'm only going to play one other game because I scratched off. I was going to go crazy today, and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to play that Yankees game because the only way you're going to get in the Yankees game is to play the minus a half a run. And I think they're tempting you to do all this stuff, by the way. I like Giolito today, but I'm not going to go there. Where I'm going to go is San Francisco. I'm going to take San Francisco and Wood today, and I'm going to take them plus 140 against the Dodgers. And this is against Gonsolin. Now, the metrics for Wood is 298 on xFIP, 326 on Sierra, and that's against a 420 and a 438 for Gonsolin. There's a big strikeout variance here, 8.84, almost 9 strikeouts for Wood, which puts him in the green, and only 6.88 for Gonsolin. And Gonsolin's been putting guys on base. He's got a walk rate of 4.24. So he doesn't give up many hits. But at the same time, I think that, this is one of these spots where the Giants, off of a loss yesterday, they didn't score any run, or they scored 1. I think this is a better spot for them, and a spot where, okay, we can probably beat Gonsolin. So that's where they want to go. Now, Gonsolin doesn't have that many at-bats against San Francisco, not nearly as many as I thought he would for pitching for the Dodgers for several years now. Woods pitched several games, obviously, against the Dodgers, and he's done average against them. His game score is 53 in 5 starts, so that's a little better than average, really. But here's an interesting number, and I told you not to worry about home and away and all that stuff. But I'm gonna go with a home and away here for just a second, because I don't know that people really know this. You run into On the away games, he has he's thrown 30. He's got 36 at against him, only 8 hits. His SOPS is 88, so that's 12% better than average. In home games, he's got 41 at bats, 13 hits, 2 home runs, and a 160 SOPS plus. So that's Wood I'm talking about. So now that means he's 60% worse. So all those numbers that you're looking at, and all those numbers you can talk about as those 4 games that he has, they all are skewed on the away games. So I think he's going to pitch good today. He's off of a bad start, so I like the idea that he's going to do well. And I am going to see if I can capitalize with Wood today at a plus 140 number.
Giants win, and Scott's got Wood. No pun intended. So I thought I'd throw that there. I definitely will be watching that tonight. For me in the NBA, nothing pops off. I will say Dallas seems like to be a public trendy dog today on social media. They did have the final shot for the cover and came up short. I'm staying away there. And for me in the Philly game, I think Miami wins. I think Philly can find a way to keep it close. I'm not playing. I didn't release, but if you wait till tip off, which is at 7:32, you might be able to grab an 8.5, which I think they might be able to keep it close there. Nothing on Cincy, Milwaukee, Washington, Colorado. Listen, the VIPs went 1-1 yesterday. For the week, we're up 1.10 units. We split. Yes, I had the Rockies. Yes, the Nats pounded the crap out of the ball. Probably should have waited till today. I mean, Corbin is supposed to get his you-know-what lit up. I expect the Colorado to bounce back today. Nats are hitting good right now, but I'm not going to pay the tax for a minus 150 on the Rockies today. If you got in there, you'd have to give up the half run in the first 5 there. Again, I follow Scotty on this one. We talked about yesterday the Dodgers opened at 170. The corrected line was around 140, 137, 138, which I said the actual value, you're not going to get the Dodgers at home at that price. And what was the final there, Scotty? 2-0?
I think it was 3-0.
3-0.
No, 3-1. I'm sorry. They got one off of the bullpen guy.
Okay. So tonight they open it up at 150. Okay, a little more respect, and the public's pushing it up to 155. So if I was to get into this game, I too would follow Scotty here with Wood. Unlike yesterday, okay, where I thought the value was on the Dodgers being such a short price at home. I think your value today is on San Fran and Wood there. Scotty, we're both could be winners here. Yes, Bundy coming back home to Baltimore. I noticed when I was peeling the layer back, a lot of sharper money coming in on Baltimore first 5. And actually a couple spots had them a slight favorite. So I lean Baltimore first 5 here. And you can then take the Minnesota full game there. So we're both winners there. Yankees, Toronto. The only way I could bet it is Toronto. And listen, I'm not following the Kukuc train. I am not getting in front of the Yankee Express right now. So anyone that does, good luck and God bless you there. You know what? I get such mixed emotions here, guys. We won with the Red Sox yesterday, full game. Every time I see Whitlock now as a starter, it's just a letdown to me because it just shortens their back end. I love him in the back end. I don't like him as a starter. I'm not saying he's not effective there, but look at what the actual opening number there was. It was 110. The public is now pushing the Sox to 130, 131. Listen, Angels got shut out. They've been struggling. They hit the ball lately. I'm rooting the shit out of Whitlock. I'm rooting for the Sox. I wouldn't pay it at that price. I mean, you even got to give up, I think, minus 105 for minus the half first 5 there, which I think the Sox have an edge in the first 5 here today. I'm not paying the price, though, there. Again, Wheeler and Perez, again, I like the Phillies. I don't like the tax. You could take the Wheeler minus a half run first 5 here. I wouldn't play it full game, but you and I both know Perez is dangerous. He can spin him when he wants to, and I'm staying away from that one. I too like Giolito. I liked them yesterday. Vegas played the Jedi mind tricks with me with Kopech. Once they introduced the other starter, that line was dropping all on the Cubs. I should have stuck to my guns. White Sox prevail there. I think Jeets gives you an edge, but we also know Hendricks at home has spun some gems, so I kind of stayed away there on that one. In the pucks, guys, I'm just going to say this, okay? Wow. They've actually even adjusted this. Okay, they haven't. Okay, one game doesn't make a series. But when you're down 2-0, now you got to start to worry. There's some big-time teams that lost game one that are sitting kind of sort of, I don't want to say desperation, and I talked to Andrew at length about this. If the score for the Bruins game didn't justify the game, the Bruins tattooed them in the first period, couldn't score, and it was 0-0. Second period, Carolina puts two behind Ullmark, and then to start the third, the Bruins come back, put a quick one in. It's 2-1. They come down and they hit the crossbar. Could have easily been 2-2. They lose 5-1, I think the final score. Basically, the Bruins opened up -110 to win this series. The public pushed it to the Hurricanes. Let's say -115 to win the series. They have now outscored the Bruins, if my math is correct, 21-2 this year. Okay. I don't like I'm not going to go in and take the Bruins -105 tonight. I'm not. But what I will do and did do is I will gladly take them +175 to win the series, like we did with the Celtics, who were -200 to win the series. Lose game one, and the Vegas kindly gave us +130 to win the series. The Celtics first 5 minutes couldn't miss. They win. Now they are favored to win the series. I saw as high as 140. You can get the Bucks at +120. So you could actually guarantee yourself 30 cents or 20 cents or 10 cents, how you want to do the math there. So I like the Bruins to win the series. I'm not going to go in and play the +105 tonight. All Tampa backers are Tampa after a loss in the playoffs is like lock city, and I don't use that word lock yet. Vegas opened up Toronto -115. They're now -128. We're just going to sit with our series play here. We'll see what happens. Tampa gets out early. We got a ball game. If Toronto gets out early, Scotty, they're coming back home down 2-0. We have a Minnesota Wild ticket for win the series. I didn't like, obviously, what I saw. Game one, we lost 4-0, I think. But St. Louis, 2 for 2 on the power play. The Wild 0 for 5. They lived in the penalty box. It was an ugly, ugly game. Need the Blues Minnesota to get out early, or this series could be over. And now LA and Edmonton. LA steals game one. I checked my Circa app. Edmonton is -115 to win the series. Now, I'll tell you this. Florida lost the first game last night, and they're still -195. So Vegas is lining up the windows, boys. Come on and take the Oilers. They're still going to win the series. Don't you worry about it. They're only -115. So anyone run into the window tonight to lay the 190 or 195, just be careful. They're only -115 to win this series. I'd rather have you grab the series price than trying to lay the -190 tonight. So just be careful there. Scotty, closing thoughts.
It should be a fun night. I mean, I like Wednesdays. That brings up then Thursdays, travel days. But there's a lot of teams traveling today. There's some teams traveling tomorrow, but there's a lot of teams traveling today. I was just looking at tomorrow's numbers. The Mets are playing the Phillies tomorrow. T1 Walker's pitching for the Mets. He's playing against Aaron Nola for the Phillies. And we just saw how the Mets beat the shit out of the Phillies over and over and over. I mean, they beat them up all the time. And I'm looking at a number that says Philadelphia -130 tomorrow. So see if I can figure out how to get on the Mets tomorrow. I think that seems like a logical choice.
I know Nola's had some good success in the past. I listen, aren't they like 6-0 or 5-1 against the Phillies this year?
Something like that. I mean, they're just beating the crap out of him, and Nola's getting beat. I think he's getting beat twice. But I think I think he's ended up having to pitch against Scherzer, and well, maybe he had McGill one day. I don't know, but he's just been getting hit, and now Miami goes out west and plays the Padres tomorrow, so that'll be interesting.
Well, it is Hump Day. Tomorrow is Thursday, and again, myself and Scott will be here in the morning for the breakfast bankroll. In the afternoon, we're going to come back probably at 4 o'clock tomorrow for the closing bell because we have Jeffrey Benson on from Circa at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Friday, just got to confirm tomorrow morning, the real Vegas Dave could be entering our studios at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then myself and Scott will be back for the closing bell there. And the weekend, myself and Scott will be back. And then on Sunday, I think will be dark. My daughter Caitlin is graduating from UConn, and it is Mother's Day as well. So we might be dark on Sunday, but we'll see what happens there. So if you are wagering tonight, please do it responsibly. If you do have a problem, pick up the phone. There's an 800 number available. Ask for help. Why? Myself and Scotty care. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. For myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from Scotty Webb at Webby20MLB. We wish everyone a blessed evening. Enjoy the playoffs. Enjoy the baseball. Have some fun with it. It's not the end all be all. Tomorrow will be a new day. When your feet hit the ground, like Bernie says, go run to the kitchen table, get yourself some breakfast, and turn on the breakfast bankroll. We'll see you soon.